Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Today is a parts video. We have parts. EvilEnergy sent us, don't look at my address, a 800 millimeter coolant oil catch can. Now, why does it say oil catch can? I have no idea. This is a coolant reservoir. In the box, we have the coolant reservoir, which kind of feels like one of those high-end water bottles with a nice knurled lid and a vent hole that I can see through. Looking good. All right. We got an O-ring at the top, which I just about lost, which I should put in here, so that's cool. All right. And it came with a hose, obviously. And we came with, well, not one, but two brackets. Kind of an L1, and then this one has this funny shape to it that I kind of imagine is supposed to go on there. We'll see. And mounting, more mounting hardware, and a sticker. But why do we have this at all? Why do I want this? Let's go look at this car. This is a 1990 Honda CRX SI with a fully built motor. It has a EvilEnergy catch can here and here. And this hideous plastic coolant overflow. And that's what we're going to replace. You can imagine how much nicer this will look than this 80s abomination, right? But other than that, this one's perfectly functional. We're just going for a more matching premium look here. So metal it is. Functionally, all this thing is a plastic bottle with a hose in it. And this is the same. Now, one big notable difference is this fills from the bottom. But if you look here, this appears to be dripping in from the top, but it's not actually, because the hose goes down to the bottom. So it pushes water up either way, right? And this valve here, well, this is aftermarket, but generally on a B series, the pressure valve here opens at like 16 PSI. Being aftermarket, this might be a little higher. But either way, 16 PSI is more than enough to push up this. So all we have to do is get that out and find a way to mount this that looks nice. So let's do that. All right, so the way this mounts couldn't be simpler. It's just this molded plastic that just fits into this slot. And that's pretty common. So we're gonna set that down. And then, so if we look at this space, assuming we wanted to put it in the same space, here's the slot. So we have these mounting brackets. We could put the slot, we could trim this down to fit in that slot, or we could bend those. Don't really want to do that, but it's an option. But I notice there's holes here. So it doesn't quite line up, but a new hole could be added to this a lot more easily than drilling holes in here. Or we could use that hole and drill a hole here, though that would be a pain in the dick to get a drill in there. Careful consideration with these brackets that they came with and just random other things I could make brackets out of laying around. We're gonna go ahead and just use one, and we're going to share that ground bolt that down there, and then this will just be at the very bottom. Now, let's talk about this bracket. I would love it if it was actually round, because you see it's not. And it has this dimple, so we're gonna put it like right there. And we're gonna try that, because obviously that's like not the most sturdy place we could mount it. Mounting it in the middle would be the most, and putting it on either end is like the least, but we're gonna try it, And it's easy to try because we don't have to drill anything or cut anything. We're just gonna use existing holes. There's a little like divot there, so it kind of just wants to be at the bottom, but I'll have to get this really tight to be confident it's not going to move around. It's pretty sturdy, we'll see. Now I just kind of guessed on this direction of this hose, and I think I guessed right. And it is tucked pretty far over here, which I like. Like, that's actually nice spacing here, 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 away from all the moving things and hot things. Although coolant obviously is hot. Don't let that name fool you. All right, that's pretty solid, I think. I mean, as solid as the other thing was, right? That could always be tightened. But I think it looks pretty clean. All right, let's get some hoses going. Okay, this hose I have on here is not like a proper coolant hose at all. It's actually like PTFE hose for fuel lines that I had when I needed to hook this up. And of course, it was like something I was just putting on for now so I could start the car. But we know how that goes. It just stays on forever after that. So, but they sent us a proper hose, so we're going to use it. So now we have the new EvilEnergy hose routed. This is zip tied here so it doesn't go anywhere near the turbo. And EvilEnergy included these little worm drives. I don't love the look of worm drives. I would prefer to use these style, but none of these I don't actually have the correct size, so we'll just use what was included in the kit and be glad that it was included. Just to knock any dust out. That probably doesn't really matter, but it's free and it's easy to do. So we do it. So that is the install. I'm quite happy with how this looks compared to that plastic bin. So let's just cut to some music and some B-roll glamour shots. So whenever a brand gives me something for free, I think it's important to acknowledge that, and this was free, but I also like to say whether or not I would buy it with my own money. And the answer is a definite yes. This is only $32 brand new, and it comes with all the bits you need to install it into anything, and it looks great in my engine bay. So if you would like one, I'll have links with a coupon code in the description.